Hey friends, welcome to this bonus video. Now this is about how can we as report developers get feedback from our report consumers. Because this is crucial, right? So we put so much effort and time into developing our reports, and then people should use it. And when they use it, of course, we would like to know what can we improve. Is there anything missing? Is something unclear? And so on. So the question is, how can we get this? Because let's face it, we people are lazy, right? So the only way we can really get this feedback and more feedback is to provide an easy way to give it to us. And the way it works is that we implement this directly into our report. And I'm going to show you how you can do this. So what I did was I went to Microsoft Forms. Maybe you know this, maybe not. But if you have a Microsoft account, there is also a service called Microsoft Forms. And this allows us to easily create a feedback form, which allows anyone to collect data entries, in this case feedback. So I already went there. If you go to forms.office.com, and there you can easily click on New Form and create your form. I already did this, and I'm going to show you what I created. So it's really easy, but I have some questions, and I can collect responses now. And this is here, please provide detailed feedback for further improvements. And then I just add here 2 questions I'm currently missing, and then people can enter something and I particularly like, and so on. And also then the people can simply rate this report. If you want to add additional here options, simply click on add, and then you can choose anything you want. So it's really easy to set up. You simply click what you want. For instance, I'd like to add another text option here. I can click here, and then I can write my question and specify whether people should have a short answer, whether they can enter a long answer here, and whether the field is required or not. That's how it works. And if I want to move it up, I can simply put it here, so I can control how the form should look like. And when I'm done, or if I don't want to this, I simply click on this delete icon. Now, when you're done, basically everything is saved on the spot, meaning I can simply go to preview here, and then I would see here what the form would look like. So only 2 questions and a star rating here. So always keep this in mind. The easier it is to fill out, the more likely you get responses. You can also take a look at how it would look like on the mobile device, which is also there, and it would look like that. So also people can provide it directly from their mobile devices. Let me go back. So we got our form. You can also change the theme if you like to do this. Default themes here, but can also add additional options from here. So that's the default one in this color. And then finally, I can go to collect responses here, and this provides me here a URL. So this is the specific URL, and I can copy this, and I also inserted or opened here an incognito window, which is this one, and already pasted the form. So Control V to paste it here, can press enter, and they would see this is what people would see. So they would see exactly the form we created here, and they can add their response here and then press submit. And then this is saved in Excel Online. And you can see exactly then you have simply a table with, in this case, 3 columns. And the first one is what is missing. The second one is particular like. And the third one is the rating that people gave us. So that's basically it. We have our form created quite easily here. And then we can also specify who should be allowed to respond. Either anyone or also only people in our organization and so on. So that's also something you can choose here. And when you're done, simply copy it. You can also shorten the URL if you want. You don't have to, but you can copy this URL and then you go back to your Power BI report. And now you just need to add this option, so the URL, somewhere in the report. And there are actually 2 ways to do it. So if you go to insert here, or 2 ways at least I would propose. The first one is if you use, in this case, a button, right? You can use a blank button here, for instance, or you could use an image. So for the button, if you go to button here and go to blank, you see I have entered here, inserted here a blank button, and I can place it anywhere I want. And then I can either write some text inside, or I could also take a look at the button options, and I can go to fill. And under fill, I have the option to turn this on, and there I can also use an image, right? So I can go to browse here, and I have here an image, which I downloaded from flaticon.com. You can get free images there if you want. You also, if you select this option, click on open, and now you see it's a little bit too big, so I can fit this. If I go to fit in here, I would have my image, and I can of course stretch it a little bit, and then I have this image in here. Of course, I can also get rid in the formatting options of this regarding this frame here, the gray frame. The other option which I mentioned was using the image. If I go to image here and insert this image directly like that, I can also insert this here and use this as my URL action in here, right? So these are the options. You can see here this is a little bit well, more colored than this one, but as I said, it's up to you. The main advantage of the button is that you have the option to customize this, right? So remember, we covered that also in one of the courses, that the buttons have the option to specify what should happen in certain situations. For instance, if someone is hovering over the button, what should happen there? So if I go to shape, you can see you get states in here. So on hover, you can then trigger something or change, for instance, the frame or anything else, or on press and so on. This is not available for the image. Just wanted to mention that. So that's a little bit more flexible regarding the button, but both options are possible. And the only thing to do for us now is select, for instance, the button. You can here choose the action and what kind of action do we want. In this case, we want a web URL action. Then we can specify here the URL, which I copied from the form. And I can do the same actually here. So if I go to action here, also I can use here not type back, but web URL. I can simply paste my form inside, Control V to paste it. And now both of these could be used. And if now someone clicks on here, as long as we are in Power BI Desktop, we need to hold the Control key, but I can either click here to navigate to the form. So let me press Control click. Now it's open, just in the background here. And here you can see that I go to the report feedback page. And then the report end consumer can enter his or her feedback and then can submit. And the same, of course, is also true here if you would click here. That would also work. You can see here we also opened the form, and then we can simply enter here our feedback and provide this feedback to us, which help us then at the end as our report developer to improve our reports and adjust it to the specific customer needs. So, and that's it basically. So that's, from my point of perspective, a really neat little trick which you can use and implement in our report, and hopefully get more feedback from our end users and also enhance then our report itself. So that's it for this little bonus video. So hopefully that was helpful. Try it out yourself, and thanks a lot for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video. Until then, best guys.